Congratulations, it's a very powerful speech, in the sense that it made some very serious points and a wide range of issues, and I probably could agree with you on, from the question of Iraq, ID cards and other issues. What concerns me is the vociferousness of your attack on Labour. You see them as this type of class enemy rather than the Conservatives in the way you projected your speech. The second point, and more importantly, this is a very multicultural area. And those of us who have worked within the Labour movement for a number of years have worked very seriously to improve situations. Not only all the issues that you identified, but the issues that relate to this particular war. 25 different communities. There are war, right, heightened tensions. There's tensions here and a wide range of issues that arise from time to time. And we look at ways of addressing those issues and dampening it. The concern that I have now is that you've now made a very powerful contributions. It will remind people of some very serious situations, and I'm just wondering whether the community would still be the same community after you've left as a result of it. But that doesn't get away from the fact of the main thrust of what you're saying. I am a little bit concerned about those issues.
Councillor, you're having a laugh, yeah? I was too vociferous against Labour. Who is it that killed all the Iraqis? Who is it that killed the Afghans? Who bombed Yugoslavia? Who introduced the anti-terror legislation? Who increased the length of time you could be held from 14 days to 28 days and now to 42 days? Who's introducing the ID cards? Who's presiding over the £78,000 million reinvestment in nuclear weapons whilst we got pensioners dying of the cold of hypothermia? Who's invited George Bush to Downing Street on Sunday? Not me. I'm not guilty of any of those things. It's you that's guilty of these things. Your party that's guilty of these things. Now, there are many good people in the Labour Party. Not enough, or it wouldn't be the mess that it is. And we work with, in the Stop the War Coalition, all sorts of opponents of the Blair-Brown leadership from amongst the small band now of left-wing Labour MPs. We insist that all parties are welcome in the Stop the War Coalition. But you can't have a Stop the War Coalition that doesn't attack the war. And you can't attack the war without identifying who it was that launched the war. And who launched the war? As to the effect on community relations, let me assure you the people here are not so stupid they needed me to come from London to remind them of what happened over the last 2 years. These people are here because they remember only too well what happened over the last few years. But we say to the Muslim community here in Britain, which is preyed upon at the edges by extremists, we say we know you're angry. You're right to be angry. And the best way to be angry is to join hands with the non-Muslims who are just as angry and make them pay politically and democratically and non-violently for that right. In that sense, we're the antidote to those siren voices who wish to lure impressionable young Muslims onto the rocks of separatism, extremism and violence. That's why the extreme Islamist organizations don't like us any more than New Labour likes us, because we stand foursquare for what we argue for.
There is something I've just used my position as chair to say, Derique, that if there are now only 12 Labour councillors in Swindon out of 59, and there's only one of them as good as you, I mean, you're the only Labour councillor that has supported the anti-war movement. And when the Labour Party in Swindon go down to 12 councillors and you lose a seat in a council estate in Parks, and the leader of the Labour Party calls that a good result, certainly, then I think you have to say, where do you go from here? Because I can't imagine Labour, the party of Labour, ever winning Swindon again unless you change course. And I'm so in despair of that being possible that I would never join the Labour Party again, and I would join George's party house instead. This is not the platform to have that discussion, but I hope that you and I will have that discussion on another occasion.